So right guys, in today's video I'll be showing you some basic moderation commands you can add to your Discord bot, since on the last episode we made a Discord bot, but let's be honest, it was useless. So let's begin. So the first command we're going to add is the kick command. Kick ban is technically very simple to do. Mute is also pretty simple, but what we're going to do is first actually create a command. So let's just do that real quick. If I can actually spell today, because apparently I can't. And then what we're going to do is actually create a function called kick, since that's the command's name. And my keyboard is dirty, what the fuck. Right, so the first thing we need to actually do is create a DM. So we're going to do a DM equals await. Actually, before we even do that, I actually skip a couple of steps. We actually do context. So let's do context member, create that into a Discord member. So let's just do Discord.member. And then afterwards, we also need a reason. So let's do star reason, since it's going to be multiple words long, so we need star reason for it. And then afterwards, let's just do member.create a DM, which will create a DM for the Discord to message, and we need it to be fast. Otherwise, what will happen is the Discord bot will not be able to find the member if he does get kicked before we send the message. And then it's as easy as doing this: awaits DM.send. You have been kicked from this server for, and then I'm going to put the reason down here. But first, let's do this into an F string, so let's do that. And then the reason dot, I think it's reason. And that's actually just, instead of putting a star down here, let's just do this real quick, since I think this way it's a bit better to do it. And then it is as easy as doing await member.kick, open brackets, close bracket, and there we go. We can add a bit more information by just doing await.ctx.send, do an F string once again, and do the member.name has been kicked for, and then put the reason down here. So if we now run this command real quick, so let's start debugging, waiting for the message to appear down here. Couple of seconds, and then if we go back into our Discord channel and do .kick sample 2.0 for being rude, we should be able to get a message. Apparently we don't get a message. Why did we not get a message? So now let's try kicking our member out this time, because I know what happened. This guy was not in this channel, so we weren't able to kick him. So for being rude, wait for it. There, the member, I misspelled it. Wolfie 2.0 has been kicked for being rude. There we go. And he's now kicked from the server. So now if we go to my other account, if we go down here, as you can see, you have been kicked from the server for being rude. And now let's go for the different command, which is going to be the ban command. The ban command is basically similar, but we can just copy and paste this command if we wanted to. Just replace kick with ban, so you have been banned from the server for reason. Let's just spell this correctly, has been banned for, and then instead of putting kick, we'll do ban, and I don't think it needs any parameters inside, so we should be able to do this. So if we now reload the server again, this would be actually perfect to demonstrate how the unban command will work. So if we go back to our server and once again add myself into this channel. So do /ban Labofeature for being rude. So now, as you can see, we have officially banned the guy on this Discord server, and if we now go to our server settings and the banned list, which is somewhere here, there we go, bans. You can see this guy is banned. There's no reason provided. You can technically provide the reason, and to provide a reason, all you're going to be doing is just do reason is equals to reason. That's all you're going to do if you want to add a reason to it. But other than that, this is how you do it. But now let's go towards how to unban people. This is a bit more complicated. We're going to be involving for loops in it, but it's still technically kind of easy to do. So let's create another command real quick. And this time let's name this unban, obviously, open brackets. And the parameters is going to be a bit different. We need member. We don't need to create this into an object, since we can't really find the user. We have to really find the user first. So let's do that. So the first thing we need to do is actually open up the ban list. To do the ban list, let's just create a variable called ban list equals ctx.guild.ban underscore list, I think. Actually, apparently it's not ban list, it's apparently ban, so let's just do that real quick. And next we need to actually create a for loop. But before we do this, we actually have to convert this into two different variables called the name and the discriminator. So we just do name, comma, discriminator is equals to member.split, open bracket, and then put hash over here. All we are doing here is we just basically get in the name of the username. It has to have, the tags. And then we're basically going to split the name into one variable and then the tag into the other variable, so it makes it easier for us to find the user. And then let's do a quick for loop. So it's going to be for bans in ban list. First, we actually need to grab the user from the ban list. To do this, we just do user is equals to bands.user. And what we're doing here is we're basically getting the object from bands and we're making it into a user. And then all we're going to do is make an if statement. So if just do a if open bracket, we need open brackets for this. We're going to do if user.name, comma, user.discriminator is equals to name and discriminator. We're going to unban the user, and we're going to unban the user by just doing await ctx.guild.unban open bracket user. So now we are basically unbanning the user, and afterwards we can just do await ctx.send, I cannot spell today, open bracket, this user has been unbanned from this server. And then just return this, because in the bottom of this we are going to quickly create another message, basically telling a person this user couldn't be found. I think that's how we spell it. I am stupid. So now if we just reload the script itself. So right after a couple of minutes of finding out what was wrong with this damn code, I realized you have to put async before the for function, because this is vitally important or the code will not run and it will give you this smelly error. As you can see, ban iterator object is not iterable. And then also another change I will say is put a start basically, before the object, before the member object, or you won't be able to do multiple word names. For example, there's really nothing that's multiple words, but if a name is multiple words long, you won't be able to ban them, but by putting a start out here you are. And that's mostly all you need to do, and this command should work. As you can see, this user has been banned from the server, and if we just go to not here, that's my settings. If we go to server settings and go to bans, you can see he has now been unbanned. So now if I go to here, and you have been banned from the server being rude, we can now just go down here and then press join, and we should be able to be joined into the server. As easy as that. So let me just invite this guy back into this chat, so we can continue making other mod array of commands. So the next command I'll be talking about is the lock channel command, which will basically lock a channel if a raid happens or you need to do something. So let's once again create a new command, and this time let's call this command lock open bracket, and we only did ctx only for it and nothing really anymore. And then afterwards we need to first get the current channel that we are in. To get this, we can do channel is equals to Netxcord.utils.get open bracket. Actually, I just realized you don't really need this. I was just thinking about roles, but if you do ctx.channel, you are able to now get the channel of it, and then all we're really going to do is change the permission for everyone. So what we do is do await channel.set_permissions open bracket ctx.guild.default_role, and then I'm going to make send_messages equals to false. So what we're basically doing is we are changing the default role, so they will not be able to send any messages in it. And then let's just send a little message in the end saying CTF send saying this channel has been locked. And let's do the unlock command by just doing the same thing. So let's just copy and paste this command real quick. And instead of let's do true. And this channel has been locked. So now if you just reload to the whole script real quick, and we now have an error. Oh yes, it's because I am a bit special and I forgot to call this unlock. So now if you just reload it again, it should be able to work. So let's get a message real quick. So now if we go down here and do /block, this channel has been locked. And now if we go down here, not mute the server settings, roles, default role, and let's just view it as the server role. As you can see, you do not have permission to send message in this channel. And then if we just do /lock, we have now unlocked the channel itself. So these are all the basic commands I have went through today. I wouldn't be talking about the mute command, since technically it's kind of useless now to be using, since Discord already has a pretty good inbuilt mute command. If you just right click on the user and then put timeout, you can basically select how long you want to timeout them. There's no point of actually putting the command into a Discord bot anymore. But if you want to, there are plenty of videos online showing you how to, and it's kind of simple to do it. You just need to create a role and assign that role to a user, and then just disable a lot of permissions in that role. But if you enjoyed this video, just hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.